But I have to say, Tom Sullivan came a couple months ago and spoke to us, and what I heard that day was what I wanted to hear from a Democratic candidate. And so I'm really glad that Tom could be here today with us, because I find it inspiring to hear that. And I think that's what real Democrats want to hear. So Tom, thank you for being here. And stick around for the raffle. Okay, I forgot to say that.
Actually, I think from looking at the numbers last time, we're missing 3 Democrats from Twin Falls. There's 3 of you missing, I think. Thanks for having me, Deborah. Thank you very much. My message is actually very simple and clear. I'm going to back up because I'm talking to myself. My message is really simple and clear. And I think it's a message that people need to hear right now. This is our country, and it's our government. Now, 220 years ago, we declared independence. We declared independence from tyranny and oppression. Many people fought and died to defend our basic freedoms, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And when I look at our government today, I think we've given up a lot of those freedoms. We're not controlled by a callous dictator. We're controlled by special interest groups and Washington lobbyists that invest heavily in our elected officials so that they can control our government. And we need to take it back. When I look at I look at Mike Crapo, and I actually see banks, big oil, Wall Street firms funneling millions of dollars into his campaign. And I have to ask, I'm concerned about his ability to make just decisions that are going to benefit the people of this country and benefit the people of this state. I don't think he can do it. Based on his record, he voted against financial reform. He voted against health care. We all know that health care is a good thing. We all know that giving people access to a healthy life is important. But he voted against that. This race that I'm running actually can be won. So everybody talks, they say, Tom, I think you're crazy. You can't win this race. Mike Crapo cannot be beat. He's got the safest seat in the Senate. Well, I think they're wrong. And here's why I think they're wrong. We had 238,000 people show up to the polls in 2008 to vote for Obama in the state of Idaho. I need 250,000 people to win this race. So we need 1 in 10 to 1 in 15 people that would have voted for Crapo to vote for me. There was a recent poll, a Rasmussen poll, 6 in 10 people in the state of Idaho are not happy with the incumbent. 6 in 10. Tie Crapo's name to it, name recognition, that number goes down precipitously. But 6 in 10 people are dissatisfied with the incumbent. 238,000 people voted for Obama. I need 250, so I need everybody here to talk and convince 1 person out of 10 that would have voted for Crapo to vote for me. I want to tell you something that's kind of interesting about Goldman Sachs. Now, Mike Crapo has some huge campaign contributions coming from J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, etc. But here's an interesting thing that Goldman Sachs does, and maybe many of you know this, some of you don't. Goldman Sachs borrows money, because they're an investment bank, from the Federal Reserve, and they pay 0.25% on that loan that they take from the Federal Reserve, that they take from us. They then turn around and invest that in Treasury bills, and the government pays them 2.5% to 3%. So they're borrowing our money, and then they're loaning it back to us, and we're paying them 2.5% for the privilege to do so. That's the type of thing that financial reform will prevent. That's the type of thing that we can stop by putting some rules and regulations back in place. That's the type of thing that Mike Crapo is against, and that's the type of thing that I'm for. Balancing the system so that the wealthiest 1% of this country do not take all of the money from the taxpayers. And I think we can make this change. We really can. As I'm going around the state, I'm asking people, what are your concerns? And I'm getting obviously everything across the board from education, but I would like an opportunity to ask everybody here, what are your concerns? What are the major things that you feel need to be addressed in the United States Senate? Can anybody give me, I'd like to ask a few questions if you don't mind. Is that all right? Immigration. A path to citizenship. Right. Immigration is a big issue, and unfortunately, the Republicans, I think they've forgotten that they're immigrants themselves. I think it's time to remind them.
Kill the lobbyists.
Kill the lobbyists. That's part of my message. Kill the lobbyists. They have purchased our government. I agree.
We don't mean really kill them.
Well,
We don't mean that.
kill the business model. How's that? Kill the business model of lobbyists. We can do that. So, I could use your help in this race. This race can be won. I do have a sign-up sheet. If everybody would be so kind as to give us your email address, we might have it. If we don't, please provide your email address. We'd love to have volunteers, people to pass out literature, and of course, there's always the campaign cash. We're always looking for people to support the campaign financially as well. So it was great. It's great being here, and thank you very much for allowing me to speak.